Coming to the stage right now, an OG of the Columbus comedy scene, the queen of the Columbus comedy scene. Please keep clapping, keep that energy going for Nickey Winkelman!
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I am so happy to be here. Are you happy to be here? Yes. I'm excited just to be out of the house. I'm a mom. We got any other parents here? Those are some tired sounding claps. Those are tired sounding claps. I'm a single mom. We got any other single parents here? One. Yeah. One. Most of the time, none, because we don't have any money. That is, yeah. People are like, well, you're out. I'm like, I'm at work. I love being a mom, though. I've got a 7-year-old at home. Don't worry, he's fine. I gave him the Netflix password, so he's good. That's a joke. I would never leave a 7-year-old alone in my house. I love my house. It's fun being a mom. I'm also 40. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we got millennials here? Yeah. Those millennial woos sound a lot sadder now that we can't pay our mortgages. That is, we got boomers here. I'm sorry, do we have boomers here? Oh, you heard me the second time. That's good. Boomers are still alive, I guess. So that's cool. Glad you all. How about Gen X? Where's Gen X? Yeah, that's the sound of Gen X, just happy to be forgotten between the millennials and the boomers. They've been fighting for the last 20 years, and y'all are just still high on that last Quaalude. How about Gen Z? Yeah. Gen Z is my favorite generation. I love Gen Z. Y'all are my favorite. I love Gen Z because I'm 40 and I don't know how to dress, and so I went on the internet and I was like, what jeans do I wear? And Gen Z was like, any jeans you want. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And they're like, mom jeans, low rise, high rise, Jankos, we wear them all. I'm like, all right, hell yeah, Gen Z. And I was like, what body type do I have to have? And they're like, any body type you want. I'm like, hell yeah, Gen Z. All right, body positivity. Then I was like, what gender do I have to be? And they're like, any gender you want. I'm like, oh yeah, hell yeah. They're like, make up your own. We got a bunch now. Then I was like, what should I do for work? And they're like, anything you want. TikTok is a career. And I'm like, oh God, that's where I instantly got old. I was like, now I'm concerned for your healthcare. I don't think 40 is old, though. I don't feel old at 40. Age is all perspective, though. I hear people complaining about being old at any age. People in their 20s, like, oh my God, 25, quarter life crisis. Don't do that. Somebody like, oh my God, 25, I feel so old. And someone else will be like, just you wait. And they're 26. It's all perspective, though. I do shows like this. I tell people that I'm 40. Some of you look at me like, oh, you got a lot of life ahead of you. And then Gen Z is looking at me like, oh no, she's gonna die soon. Did you know that human beings aren't born with kneecaps? Stay with me. Human beings aren't born with kneecaps. I did not know this until I made a person. Baby came out, no kneecaps. I was like, something's wrong with it. Yeah, you don't get kneecaps until you're like 8 or 9 years old. That's true. You don't. You're born with cartilage in your knee, and then slowly over time that cartilage hardens, turns into bone, kneecap, science. But you don't see 7-year-olds walking around going, oh, I'm starting to get old, my kneecaps are starting to calcify. I do like being a mom. I will say that I have a wonderful son. I gave birth to a wonderful son, and then I also had a tubulectomy, and I love them both equally. I really hated being pregnant. So much so that I was one and done. One child and then done. I didn't like being pregnant. You get asked a lot of questions when you're pregnant. People do this. They ask you lots of questions about being pregnant. It's not fun. There's nothing fun about being pregnant, and the last thing we want is more questions, you know? My friends would ask me things like, what do you miss the most? Because you can't have certain things when you're pregnant, you know, like cigarettes or meth or a good time. But it's like weird things too. You can't have like sushi or pineapple or seeing your feet. I was like, I think the thing I miss the most is being able to pick things up off the ground. Like a couple months into my pregnancy, I dropped a grape, and a couple months after he was born, I picked up a raisin. I'm just saying. And then people would also ask, like, oh, what are you afraid your son's gonna try one day? Because your kids will try things to rebel against you. They will. They're like, you worried he'll try cigarettes or meth? I'm like, I don't know what I'm afraid he'll try. Probably number one is white supremacy. Like, I don't really want him to dabble in that, you know? Probably second on that list is meth, because it leads to white supremacy. It's a gateway drug. Leads you first to Florida and then to white supremacy. People always ask me about the epidural, too. They're like, oh, are you going to get the epidural? Are you going to get the epidural? I did not get the epidural. I did not. When I tell people I didn't get an epidural, there's two responses to that usually. One is that I'm stupid. They look horrified and you're like, oh, you're dumb. And the second is that people think I'm very brave. They're like, oh, natural childbirth. That's the way it should be. You're so brave. And I'm going to tell you right now that I am the first thing. I am stupid. That is, there was no bravery at all involved in me not getting an epidural. I did not get an epidural because I am afraid of needles. That's like if I scaled the side of a 10-story building and at the top everyone was like, Nickey, you're so brave. And I'm like, I'm afraid of elevators. You never know what kind of parent you're going to be either. When you're pregnant, you think you're going to be a certain kind of parent, and you don't know what kind of parent you're really going to be until you have your child. And I remember when I was pregnant, I was like, my baby's not going to be the kind of baby that you have to be like, shh, the baby's sleeping. He's just going to learn to sleep with a certain amount of noise. 2 months into it, I was like, don't flush the toilet after 9 p.m. I also thought I was never going to lie to my kid. Clap if you lie to your children. We all lie to our children, we do. And it's never about the things that you think you're going to lie to your children about. Like, my son thinks that most of the ice cream in the house has alcohol in it. Sometimes I don't want to share. If you ever remember being a kid and you did a piece of artwork, right? And then you couldn't find that piece of artwork and you asked your mom, hey, where's that piece of artwork that I did? And your mom's like, I don't know, but I'll look for it. She 100% threw it away. Your mom lied to you. The number one cause of deforestation on the planet is 7-year-olds and their art projects. There's so much paper in my house, my refrigerator is a fire hazard. And I don't know what I'm supposed to keep either, because sometimes there's just like a single squiggle on the paper, and then the next morning he's like, where's my worm? And I'm like, I don't know, we'll help you look for it. The funniest thing about him thinking that there is alcohol in the ice cream is that I am sober. Like, I don't drink alcohol at all. And I'm just trying to like keep him from eating the things that I want to eat by telling him that they're for adults only. And I feel like someday he's going to realize that I'm a sober person and going to need therapy about it, which is like the opposite of what most millennial parents' children are going to do. They're like, my mom wore a t-shirt that said rosé all day and she thought it was cute and really she's just a functional alcoholic. And then my son's in therapy like, my mom was sober and told me the ice cream would get me drunk. I'm not a sober person because I think I'm better than you. It's because I'm a problem. Every group of women has that one that becomes an ordeal once she gets drunk, you know? It's like breaking things and falling down. Whenever I would get drunk, my friends were like, oh, great, Nickey's drunk. Someone's going to have to drive her home and someone's going to have to find her pants. I can't tell you how many taxi cabs I have peed in. It lets you know two things. Lets you know that I pee my pants when I'm drunk, and also lets you know how long I've been sober because no one says taxi cab anymore. I was a scotch drinker when I drank. Oh, that's what I like to drink was scotch. Yeah, scotch is kind of an old man's drink. I know this because when I drank it, I would act like an old man. I'd get really mad about problems in the world I can't change, and I'd hit on women half my age. And then I'd pee my pants. in a taxi cab. You guys are so much fun. Thank you so much. I'm Nickey.
Nickey Winkelman, come on everyone. She will be in your taxi.